Let's double back on a coin that I am incredibly bullish for the rest of this year and potentially even further, that being Ondo Finance. And there's a number of reasons why right now I think this is an absolute steal and why this could be a huge part of anyone's portfolio. I'm going to give you the latest news and why right now it's a great time to grab hold of some Ondo Finance and lock in those gains for future down the line. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Let's get into it. So for many of you that have been a regular of my channel, we talked about this on my live stream, but Coinbase is the best performing stock in the S&P 500 in June and may have even more room to come. They actually broke a brand new all-time high on the price of Coinbase shares with a 43% gain in June. This is a pretty big deal. Bear in mind, not long ago, we were seeing a massive decline in the price of Coinbase shares, and there's a reason why. Coinbase has direct links back to Wall Street. They are basically the gateway into so many different cryptocurrencies for big investors that it's no surprise right now that Coinbase is absolutely flying. And with part of that is where Wall Street gets access to many different cryptos. Now, the one that I want to talk about specifically is this one, Ondo Finance. You guys know that I've been talking about this for a while. I'm incredibly bullish on this project. And right now there is some things going on that, well, people aren't talking about. And my job in this market is to make sure you guys are fully informed of what's going on so that you can make some great decisions so that we're here for, well, those 10x's, 20x's, financial freedom and all of that good stuff this year. So what's going on with Ondo Finance? Well, they recently have just announced a big move, a kind of new collaborative workforce in terms of how they're going to be rebuilding the blockchain and more importantly, what Ondo Finance is going to be all about. We know that they bring tokenized assets to the blockchain. We know that they've been working really hard in terms of US treasuries and how all this comes together. Well, they now have an audacious bid to rebuild the stock market on the blockchain. And the reason why this is important is this is allowing Wall Street to get in, and they're not right now buying DeFi, but they're going to. And this is where it all gets a little bit more interesting. So you can see here, look, crypto companies like Coinbase, Kraken, and Robinhood are attempting to tokenize stocks, aiming to create a financial system where trading is fast, easy, and efficient. Despite challenges and regulatory hurdles, players are lining up to offer tokenized stocks. This is where Ondo Finance, in my opinion, comes in as one of the big players in the game. So why, therefore, is this important and how are we going to maximize our gains in this market? Well, first and foremost, you got to understand what Ondo Finance is all about and what's happening. So Ondo Finance built on the Ethereum chain. Wall Street right now is absolutely accumulating Ethereum like crazy people. In fact, outside of ETF purchases, we have seen some massive moves. Bit Digital buying over 27,500 Ethereum, Exodus, Mongo, all buying huge amounts of Ethereum. And this is only the start. We're actually seeing Ethereum ETFs finally starting to pick up and basically represent their true worth in this market. We're seeing it now break out the ascending channel and Ondo is starting to move to the upside. This will bring the retail investor in as well, all under the umbrella of taking those tokenized assets or those US treasuries and putting them on the blockchain. Back to their plan, says you are changing the way things are trading, says Brian Rutard, the Associate Professor of Finance. And he talks about you're not just changing the format of an asset, but you are changing the narrative. And this is where blockchain comes in. We know that platforms known as such as BlackRock digitize money markets and are absolutely buying as much as they possibly can. And Ondo Finance is planning to launch this summer and Jerone hopes to offer tokenized equities trading in the US in the coming months. So this is all playing out very interestingly. We see Ethereum starting to move as Wall Street comes in and Ondo Finance is sat there absolutely in prime position to offer those tokenized US securities. Think about this. We've seen a massive change in the position with tariffs and everything else going on. Imagine if all that was on the blockchain. Imagine if you or I were able to go and buy those US treasuries, putting the wealth back to the average people. And I think where we see Ethereum move, you're going to see Ondo Finance move as well. And I think this is all very bullish. Again, doubling down on the price, Ondo is set for a breakout. I think we could easily see $1 very, very soon if the market continues to move with us. I absolutely believe Ondo will probably retest this, take one more rejection, and then off we go. We could even see this break significantly higher than we have seen in a long while. And it's obvious to see, especially when you start to kind of just work through the narrative that could sit here on Ondo. So if we would take the bottom to the top of that, you're expecting a 259% gain once again. From the bottom of this point, you know, we're going to be talking well above $2.56, maybe even $3 very, very quickly here on Ondo Finance. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. How bullish are you on Ondo Finance and how big do you think this token is going to be? I don't think it's going to be a while until we see Ondo Finance being a massive player in the crypto market. So as always, thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.